Director Saldaña, it's good to have you here. First, let me say, I know in May you suffered what every parent I know hopes and prays they never have to endure, and so our thoughts and prayers have been with you since we found out about that. I know Michael has to leave a tough spot that'll never be filled, and I know that's got to be tough to continue on, but we appreciate your continuing to do what you can.
Thank you, Congressman. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So that's something every parent I know shares. But I wanted to share with you about an experience I had earlier this year in down on the border in the McAllen sector that had taken over, as I understand, being the busiest. And of course, I know you're aware that's a wider area of the Rio Grande. I hear people talk about areas where you can walk across, and obviously that's not one of them. You don't make it across unless you've got help, and normally it's in one of the rafts that coyotes are bringing across. But as I'm sure you're aware, the state of Texas had appropriated millions of dollars. They've got 4 boats down there on that section of the Rio Grande, and those boats are extremely well equipped. And all the nights I've spent on the border down there, one some months back, was on the fast boat that Texas DPS has the thermal technology. We had night vision, so we were able to use the night vision, but the thermal technology was just amazing. And as we went down the river, and we would spot people when it's 2, 3 in the morning, when people are gathering up along the edge of the river behind trees, bushes, and other things, you know they're probably going to try to cross. And we know that there were Homeland Security employees along the way, some Border Patrol. And when we would see somebody like, okay, there's 2, maybe 3, looks like they're carrying something, they're squatting, looks like they're trying to bring something in, not people. And that's communicated to Homeland Security personnel. And there's balloons down there they send up, and they could focus in and use the technology. And generally we'd get the response back, yes, we have those individuals spotted. Go further down the river, and there's 16, 17, maybe 18 people. They're not carrying anything. Looks like they're just going to try to come across. And as we spotted things, that was conveyed to Homeland Security personnel, and the balloons, the cameras would zoom, and they would find who we had reported. We went down to a bend in the river and turned off the engine and waited for a long period of time. And then the federal employees finally communicated, look, these people are still continuing to stay right where they are. They know you turned off your engine. They know you're down there somewhere where you could get back to them before they cross. So why don't you go on back to your dock, and we'll intervene when they try to cross. And so they asked, is that all right with me? I said, you're the guys in charge. So we went back to the dock, and as soon as we got back to the dock, we got the report that when they heard our engines going far enough away, that the groups that we had seen came across, and they were happy to report that they had gotten all of the 18 that came across that we had spotted with the thermal, and that the people that appeared to be bringing a large amount of drugs in, they hadn't gotten them. They're somewhere on the U.S. side, but they got all of those that came in. And I said to the Texas DPS, what? They didn't intervene and tell them to go back before they got onto American soil? And the Texas guy said, that's what they do. They let them come on to the U.S., and then we got the report they had all been successfully processed in, and with no intention of deporting them anytime soon. Now, I know there have been around what, 160,000 or so that have been turned back that are being counted as apprehensions and deportations. But are you aware of ICE just taking people that were caught red-handed coming in illegally and then just in process rather than being deported?
Gentleman's out of time, but you may answer the question.
I am not, Congressman. I suspect that would have been our sister agency, as you said.
Well, the Border Patrol.
Right, yeah.
But then you had ICE people backing them up. You know you've got a lot of ICE folks there.
Oh, if there were drugs on them, and we had our hands on them, we wouldn't have let them go.
Well, they were never captured. That's the point. But anyway, it's now on your radar, and it really needs to be dealt with, and I appreciate the chairman's indulgence. Thank you.